Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. Hope everyone's well. Completely messed up the intro I was going to do, but never mind. So this video is going to be one about football. So it's really geared towards football fans, but obviously all welcome. I'd love to have as many people watching my videos as possible, of course, and as much support as possible as ever. But yeah, it's going to be more about football. So hopefully, so if you're not into football, this probably won't be a video for you, but I've often mentioned how I'd love to discuss football in a way which non-football fans would enjoy, and I've been thinking about this video for at least a day or two. But yeah, I really like, sometimes I want my videos to be just right, so part of me was thinking I should just go for it, make the video and hope for the best. But anyway, so this is going to be like one of my passions, Italian football, which I've talked about before, and I'd say hopefully people out there will enjoy it. But so yeah, a while back, my late aunt, as I say, late aunt, I don't know if they use that in every country, but when someone is no longer with us or no longer alive, we call them late. I don't know why, but my late aunt, one of my late aunts, bought me a video game, if you like, football game. And normally I don't play video games very much, but this one I played, and I was in the attic in my dad's house. It's actually his sister. But anyway, yeah, I was in the attic, and I was playing this game for hours. Like, one of my brothers had to come up and actually say, like, "Are you okay? We haven't seen you for ages." But yeah, I was playing for like 3 or 4 hours, maybe more. And you could buy players. Like, if you won competitions, you got money. Obviously not. It's like Monopoly money, but online or whatever. Anyway, you could buy players, and I used to love to buy like a dream team. And a while back, the old Real Madrid teams, the old Real Madrid side put loads of money together, and they bought loads of great players. Like, had all the world's top superstars in one club. So anyway, I've often thought it would be interesting to see like what team I put together. But anyway, using my imagination, because my patterns, like today's the 17th, so it's a number that reminds me of imagination, imaginations, imagine if, and all that. So recently there's been sorry if I jump from point to point, but recently there's been excuse me, there was a bid to buy Newcastle United Football Club, obviously in England, and by the Saudi sheikh, I think, prince or king, I'm not sure. I think it's the king of the country. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, current ruler of the country, I believe, and it was unfortunately for Newcastle fans, it was declined, or whatever it was. Eventually, the consortium that bid for Newcastle got fed up with the Premier League, so it's a long story. But anyway, so M.B.S stands for Mohammed bin Salman, which is the king, I believe, of Saudi Arabia. And if I could speak to him, I'd love to encourage him to invest in Italian football. So anyway, I thought of different scenarios that I'd talk about, just using my imagination. So it's all just for fun, hopefully. So hopefully people out there will enjoy it, as I say. Not to be taken too seriously, it might even be a bit of a pipe dream. But as usual, I'd like to get some of the negative things out of the way first. So please forgive me, I haven't done really that much research. Also, I don't really watch much football nowadays, and I probably don't even remember know most of the players' names, but I just want to see Italian teams do well. I'd love to see Italian teams win. I haven't even managed to. I used to watch like Champions League or Europa League games. I don't even manage to watch that because they're not on TV anymore. So I don't really watch them. I'm probably the only one in my family who really loves football or follows football. So obviously, no one's going to spend money on Sky to buy the game. So I don't really go to the bar very often. So I haven't really been watching much football. So I'm really going on what people talk about. So yeah, so I haven't done a huge amount of research either, and that sort of thing. But yeah, hopefully you will still enjoy my pipe dreams. As I say, it's my imagination. So, but yeah, so Juve, short for Juventus, or what they are often known as. And so yeah, I'm imagining if Mohammed bin Salman changed his bid to buy, or his consortium's bid to buy Newcastle United FC instead to buy another team in Stars and Stripes, ironically with the same sort of kit, which is Juventus. So I want to imagine what that could be like for Juventus, and hopefully transform the future of the team. So like having a 5 to 10 year plan as well, like a vision for how to transform Juventus into a dream team and possibly the best team in the world. As an Italian football fan, I'm a bit strange in many ways, I know, but you'll probably be able to tell when you watch my videos, but I have a strange sort of thing where I love all Italian teams really, and I don't really care who wins in Italy. I mainly care about Italian teams representing Italy outside of Italy. So I want Italy to become the #1 league in the world and also a national team to do well. So these ideas are based on that sort of thing. So anyway, so when Mohammed bin Salman and his consortium, whose name is really annoying because I forgot, put a bid in for Newcastle. I should have done more research. I do apologize. But anyway, yeah, when they put a bid in for Newcastle, they offered apparently 300 million to buy the club. So I imagine if the scenario, if they offered the same amount of money to buy Juventus off the Agnelli family who own Fiat, so 300 million. But being a bit greedy, I thought, imagine if and being a massive lover of Italian football, I thought, imagine if 30 million or 10% of that was kept for the club, so to either to invest in youth facilities or transfers, or just for the club's finances, or to cover any costs that it might incur. But we might not have to worry about that if like Mohammed bin Salman bought us because he's got so much money, and if he had a 5 to 10 year plan to stabilise the club, make sure it stayed within, it's like financially strong and all that, what this means, and was strong financially. But yeah, just think like for any for rainy days, so to speak, or to spend money on buying a manager or coach, or managers and coaches, or sorry, a manager and stroke or coach, a manager and possibly a coach or coaches. Sorry. So I was thinking, and I'd love to hear what Juventus or other football fans think about this list, and like what they think about dream team, what they think a dream team would be. So if you're a football fan, especially a Juventus fan, but even if you're a fan of another team, but what sort of players you think Juventus should buy if they got this investment. So I was thinking, as I say, if the club was bought for like 300 million, but 10% of that, 30 million, went into the either for youth facilities, which was my initial idea, or possibly to bring a manager to the club. And I thought, for a manager, it would be great to have someone like either Pep Guardiola, who has actually played in Serie A with Brescia, but has and talked about how he wants to go to Serie A, and he's coached in Spain with Barcelona, he's coached Bayern Munich in Germany, and he's coaching now Man City. So I thought it'd be interesting if he could be bought for to come to Juventus with a 5 to 10 year plan, preferably that, and be given like 30 million for staying at the club for like 5 to 10 years. So about which would be about 3 million a year. But like to be a part of an exciting project which you can be proud of. And I hope to do videos like a video like this, or maybe even multiple videos like this for different Italian club teams, because I just have interest. I'll say, but yeah, so to give him like 30 million to come to the club for like 10 years, that's like 3 million each year. And or it could be that 30 million could be invested in youth players. So I think of different scenarios. And another idea I had was like if Pep Guardiola was like possibly the coach and Zidane came to be the manager, but because I think he's done a great job with Real Madrid, and also he was a Juventus player, so he has like a connection to Juventus. So I think it'd be great if he was like became the Juventus manager, possibly maybe working with Pep. But I suppose when you have too many ideas, they can like contradict each other. So I'd love to hear what people think again about that. Like if they should have just one manager, or they could work together, or like Pep could be the coach and bring in a style of play which he has, which could help Italian football to be more entertaining and attacking and that sort of thing, rather than like defensive. How he could change Italian football to transform it into a more attacking style, which I think would be really interesting. And also, like Juventus win so much domestically, but it would be great to see them win like Champions Leagues World Club Cups and things like that, which I don't think Juventus have won before. I know they've won Champions League at least once, but it'd be great if they could win the World Club Cup and like become a really renowned club, not just in Italy but internationally for their success as well, rather than just winning domestically. Um, I have a bit of a dilemma because a part of me wants to develop youth players, but another part of me wants to see like a dream team, if you like, and hopefully the youth would be inspired by that dream team. Um, so I thought, obviously now sorry, prices or fees or costs are really inflated because of all this money that's coming in. So I was thinking like the amount that would have to be spent would be really silly money, if you like huge amounts of money, like millions, if not billions over years. So I thought it would probably even be a few billion over like 5 or 10 years to buy these players. But yeah, so I thought it would be great. Not sure how to pronounce his name, but Szczesny in goal. I thought, mate, I'm not sure if I would think that he should be sold um, to make way for other goalkeepers, like, and then get that money as a fee and maybe play. Like, so a first choice goalkeeper could be Alisson from Liverpool. I'm thinking nowadays with the money, it could be like 50 million or even 100 million just to bring him. Um, Obviously, he's doing really well at Liverpool, so to take him away from Liverpool to come to Juventus, maybe even like have to give him like 100 million just to tempt him to come to Juventus, and then as a second choice goalkeeper could bring like De Gea from, I don't know what I'm doing quotation marks, but De Gea from Man United, although his confidence has dipped a bit, but maybe a new project which you could be excited about, like for at least like 5 to 10 year project. He might be something. It might be something he's excited about, playing with some of the best players, and with all this money which would be coming in, effectively. So he could be like a second choice goalkeeper and hopefully bring his confidence back. And As I say, Szczesny could perhaps be either third choice keeper, or he could be sold and like an under 21 goalkeeper could be third choice. And I think Buffon now is quite old, so I think like it would be great if he retired from playing as a goalkeeper, but did put something back into Juventus and Italian football by by coaching some of the younger goalkeepers. So that would be something that, in his heyday, he was a really good goalkeeper. I think he's really old now, so it'd be great to see him make way for like other goalkeepers, especially younger ones, and have more of a coaching role with the younger players, and that would help Juventus, but also and local lads from Turin, but also it would help the national team as well, like developing young goalkeepers, which again hopefully could play for Italy. So yeah, so when Mohammed bin Salman was going to invest in or buy out Newcastle with a consortium, it was said his net worth was about 300 billion pounds sterling. I'm talking in pounds sterling because I'm from the UK, so it's like easier for me to work out. Obviously, this would be in euros, but they said the money he would be putting in Italian football would be in euros, but so the equivalent in euros. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, so I was thinking it'd be interesting. They say his net worth is like 300 billion, but that would be more than like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or people like that. So I know they're including like his company investments. So I was thinking, imagine if he invested, talking about like imagination and imaginatives, and using my imagination, dreaming big and all that with my pipe dreams. I thought it'd be great if Mohammed bin Salman spent like 10% of that money on the club. So he gave like 30 billion to the club, and I know it's like I say silly money, but yeah. So sorry, going back to the team, like so, and whatever money he didn't spend in transfers or fees within the next 5 to 10 years, he would perhaps spend on youth players. So invest training youth players up, like spending money rather, sorry, on youth players, which are like investing in like football pitches, football like goals, nets, bibs, cones, and all, and like football boots, and kits for people, and like maybe even giving money to local people like local families, so that their children could take a risk, because if they're trying to get into football and they get injured or something like that, they could have that money to fall back on. So the ones who don't make it could, so the more people could take a risk and try and get into football, which hopefully would benefit Italian football, which is my main goal for this, and Juventus in particular. I'll say I support all Italian teams, so hopefully that would benefit all Italian teams. But so yeah, so like Alisson in goal, who's done really well for Liverpool, and De Gea as second choice, and again possibly an under 21 keeper, or maybe Chesney, or however you pronounce his name, could be the third choice keeper, or maybe we could sell him and use that money to buy even more players. But we'd already have quite a high budget, and also like in defence, I think I'd keep the same defence, but I'd have Virgil van Dijk in defence. I'd buy him from Liverpool as well, like with Alisson, so you got a good spine, and then like hopefully they could also be a good influence for the younger players and like give motivation. And the midfield, I think, would be really exciting for football fans, like Kante as a defensive midfielder, buying him from Chelsea. And again, he's another player who's lost his confidence, just like De Gea. But I think if he played in the right position and he was a part of a new project, he was really part of an exciting project for like 5 to 10 years. And he's obviously got talent because he's a World Cup winner and he won the league with Leicester and Chelsea. And people are talking about how great he was then. I'm sure he's still a great player. I haven't really done much research on like the players' ages or anything like that. But I think with Chelsea, he's played out of position, so that's probably why he doesn't play as well, or hasn't been playing, excuse me, as well as he was. And yeah, so to put him next to like Pogba, perhaps in centre mid, again, we'd have lots of money to invest it with. Or Sugar Daddy, just kidding, but with Mohammed bin Salman, as I call him, M.B.S. To put Pogba and Kante in possibly centre mid, like Kante could play more defensive defensive mid, sorry, that's what I'm trying to say, and Pogba play a bit more forward, so like playing together, hopefully, as they play together with France, hopefully that'll give them great confidence, and also like Messi possibly on the left and Ronaldo maybe on the right wing. And I thought even like bringing in players like Eden Hazard, although he might be a bit old now, but Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne. Like I think, imagine how great that sub bench would be as well. I could bring players on like that. And sometimes I talk about like having a 5 to 10 year plan where they play together alongside each other and get used to playing together. So it's like a project rather than just buying new players and like selling them, and they don't get to gel together. And also, but at the same time, maybe we could change the team around a little bit. Like if things aren't going so well, change the formations a bit. Like Messi could play more central, or Ronaldo, or things like that. Sorry, this video is pretty long, but I didn't realise I was going to waffle that much. So apologies. But yeah, so also I'm really passionate about football, and I think this would be a great dream team. And like up front, I'd probably keep the team about the same. I was even thinking like maybe even because it contradicts a bit my idea with always trying to play 3 under 21 players from Italy, but maybe even like either up front or in defence, a few young players could be played, like young local Italian players from Turin itself or from the academy, or even bought in from other teams, but young Italian players, excuse me, which are under 21, because they would have so much good service from, and they'd also learn a lot, I think, from the other players around them. But from Ronaldo and Messi and Pogba and Kante, even talking about that, it feels ridiculous, but I might dream it. But to have those sort of players feeding them service, they could like have so many opportunities. So even though they might be quite young and inexperienced, they'd have so many opportunities to score. And hopefully, again, with playing together with those great players, they'd gain so much confidence and experience. Like even playing young Italian defenders alongside Virgil van Dijk, and I know there's a young Dutch player, De Ligt, I think his name is De Ligt. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know they play together. But he could also mentor some of the younger players. But obviously they play together with Holland as well, and that would benefit Holland a little bit. But I'm mainly hoping, obviously, to benefit Italian football. But yeah, so they could encourage some of the younger players. So I was thinking like within 5 years, I know it'd be ridiculous amounts of money, but I was thinking like if Mohammed bin Salman would spend like $1 billion a year each year on if financial fair play would allow it. And I think the argument could be if Man City or other teams have done that for so long, then it's only fair for Juventus to have that opportunity. Anyway, I think that covers everything. So as ever, I'd love to hear what you think, and I'd love to hear from football fans if they made it this far. Thanks so much for putting up with me. And what sort of dream team would you love to see? And what sort of players would you love to see at Juventus, especially for Juventus fans? But again, like people, maybe like people who are not Juventus fans specifically, but might like Juventus a little bit, or even just football fans generally. What sort, if Mohammed bin Salman bought Juventus, what sort of players do you think Juventus should go for? And maybe like sometimes not just the best players, but how they gel as a squad. So I think that covers everything, and I'm out. Peace and love.